Hello, and thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well this evening. Now sit back, relax, and let's get into our story. When I bought the house, I didn't think twice about the mirror. It was a tall, arched thing fixed into the wall at the end of the second floor hallway. Antique. The frame was carved from the dark wood, the kind you'd find in a Victorian funeral home. It was built into the wall itself, seamless. No screws, no brackets, no way to move it. I figured it was just one of those quirky features old houses come with. The house was a fixer-upper. I got it cheap from an estate sale after the previous owner, an elderly man named Arnold Langley, passed away. He had no surviving family. The realtor mentioned he'd been something of a recluse, barely ever left the house. Seemed fitting somehow. I didn't think about the mirror again for the first 2 weeks. I was too busy tearing up carpets and scrubbing mildew off the walls. But late one night, I walked past it and caught something strange. My reflection didn't move. I stopped in my tracks. I stared into the glass, heart pounding. My reflection stared back. Every detail was right. The torn shirt, the drywall dust in my hair. But I swear, for half a second, it lagged behind. I blamed the exhaustion. I've been working 16-hour days. I was probably overtired. Brains do weird things when you're worn down. But then it happened again. And again. It got worse. One night, I saw someone else in the mirror. I was walking past on my way to bed, and there it was. A pale figure in the hallway behind me. I spun around. Nothing. I turned back to the mirror. Empty. I didn't sleep that night. I started testing it. I'd walk past slowly, stop suddenly, try to catch the delay. I'd wave one hand, blink one eye, then both, trying to trick my reflection. Most of the time, everything was normal. But every now and then, there'd be a flicker, a shudder in the glass. Once, my reflection smiled when I didn't. That was the night I covered it with a blanket. It stayed covered for almost a week, until the scratching started. It was faint at first, like mice behind the walls, but it came from the mirror. Soft, rhythmic scratching, just at night, always just as I was about to fall asleep. One night, I got up, heart racing, and pulled the blanket down. The mirror was fogged from the inside. I leaned in, and I saw a handprint on the other side of the glass. I moved out the next day, stayed in a hotel for 3 nights while I figured out what to do. But I couldn't stop thinking about the mirror, about the things I'd seen. I started researching the house. The previous owner, Langley, he'd lived there for almost 40 years. No visitors, no family, just him in that house. I went to the town records office, found blueprints, and that's when I saw it. There was a room behind the mirror. It wasn't on the main floor plans. Not even the contractors who originally worked on the place had access to it. But a plumbing schematic, one lone, dusty file, listed a crawl space behind the second floor hallway. The dimensions matched the mirror wall. I went back the same day, armed with tools and adrenaline. The mirror came off easier than I thought. Not a real mirror, just a thin pane of one-way glass built into a small wooden frame. Behind it was a wall of cracked plaster. I smashed through, and I found the room. It was small, 10 by 10 maybe. No windows, no door. The only entrance was the one I had just made. Inside was a single chair, a bare light bulb, and hundreds of old photographs nailed to the walls. They were all of people looking into the mirrors. Each photo was different. Black and white, sepia toned, faded color. Some were decades old, but the people, they all had the same expression. Fear, shock, dread. Some had their hands pressed against the glass. One photo showed a man screaming. Another, a woman with blood running from her eyes. In the center of the room was a small wooden box. Inside, I found a tape recorder. I pressed play. If you're hearing this, it means you found the room. Don't look too long. Don't stare. It sees you. It copies you. And when it's ready, it switches. This is not a mirror. It's a window. And something on the other side wants to come through. The tape ended in static. I stood there in that awful room, surrounded by faces, frozen in fear. The air heavy with something old and bitter. And then I heard it behind me. A quiet tap, like fingernails on glass. I turned back to the mirror, but it wasn't a mirror anymore. It was a window, and I was the one on the other side. I don't know how long I've been in here. Time moves differently in this place. The light never changes. There's no sound except for the scratching, the tapping from the glass. I've tried everything. Screaming, hitting, scraping messages into the fog. No one sees me. No one hears me. I watch people walk past. Sometimes the reflections move just a little slower. They stop. They stare. Sometimes they feel it. That tingle in their spine. But they always move on. Except for one. A woman. Young. Curious. She started testing the mirror. She's watching it now, even as I write this. Looking for the lag. Waving her hands. Smiling. Trying to catch her reflection off guard. And she will. Eventually. And when she does, I'll be free. If you have a mirror in your house that doesn't reflect quite right, cover it. Or better yet, break it. Because once it sees you, it never stops watching.